This is a review of the Sunwayman D40A flashlight. It is a flashlight that takes 4 AA cells. Preferably you would use nickel metal hydride cells such as Eneloops, but it could also take alkaline cells. It would work okay with that, although run times may be reduced. It's a nice light. It tends to be on the expensive side. It's around $80 to $90 US, so it's not cheap, but it is a quality light. I think there are better values on the market today. I bought this, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago when it just came out in neutral white, and I don't regret the purchase, but I think if I was buying today, it tends to be, I think, on the expensive sides for similar kind of features you get in other lights. But it is a good light if you don't mind spending the money. It's, you know, you're gonna get a good quality light. It has 4 main modes, and plus a moonlight mode and 3 strobe modes. Now, it has a mode switch, 2 mode switches. One is to turn the light on and off here, and the other is to switch modes. So if you turn the light on, it starts out in maximum, and it cycles down through high, medium, low, and then back to maximum again. And that's what pressing the mode button does. It does have mode memory, so if I turn it off in low and then shut the light off, when I turn the light back on again, it starts in low. Now the mode memory doesn't survive battery changes, but it's easy enough to pick the mode you want after you change the batteries. It's about 900 lumens on maximum, which is a good amount of light. This is a neutral white light. So it's a lot of light. It tends to be fairly similar to other 4 AA lights on the market. Okay, as I said, this is a neutral white light. To show you what that is, this is about 5,000 Kelvin. It produces a nice light. I'll just show you there. Now to compare it, here is a warm white on the left, and I'll try to also plop in a cool white here. Okay, to add a cool white to the mix, there's a cool white on the bottom. So we have warm white, top left, the D40A neutral white, the top right, and a cool white on the bottom. So you can see it's pretty much right in between warm and cool. The cool white is about 6,000 Kelvin. The warm white's a little under 4,000 Kelvin. And so 5,000 Kelvin, it's pretty much right in the middle of what you get between warm and cool. So I'd call it a neutral, and that's what they sell it as. As mentioned, besides the 4 main modes, it also has 4 hidden modes. Well, they're sort of hidden. It has a moonlight mode. If you press and hold the on button from off, it turns on in about a 1 lumen mode. It's not what I would consider a true moonlight mode. A true moonlight mode I would consider sub 1 lumen, probably down to a 1/4 lumen or less. But this is, you know, for a light this size, I think 1 lumen gives you a quite usable amount of light that you can use not only in the middle of the night, which a moonlight mode would be for, but also, you know, in late evening when it might not be totally dark, but you still want just a lower amount of light. Now, the strobe modes, which you'll probably never use, are accessible from various combinations of the mode and off button. So if you hold down the mode button from off, you get a blinking mode that blinks every 1 or 2 seconds. Now, if you hold down the mode button from the on position, it'll give you a 3 pulse strobe. And I'm not sure if the camera's picking this up, but it does more like kind of an emergency strobe. It does 3 quick pulses and then off. It might be useful in a roadside emergency situation where you want to alert traffic that's coming. They'd probably take notice of this fairly quickly. And then probably it's got the, I think, double click from off. No, double click mode. And that'll give you the annoying strobe mode. And the final hidden mode is an SOS, which I believe you activate by holding down off from the on position, and it'll give you a SOS signal. And I have no idea if anybody has ever used that, but it's there. Now, it has a very good battery carrier, but I don't particularly like that feature, and I'll show you why. It takes a battery carrier. You can store your batteries in there. You load the batteries in there, and then you can put the battery carrier in any configuration. It's got some electronics in there that'll work in any configuration. You put the carrier back in the flashlight. But it's really hard to get the batteries out. You can't really get them out with your hands. You have to wedge something in there like a paper clip, pry them out. And you know, it's not like they're really tight. Like, you can get the batteries in fine, but the springs are very strong. And I don't like that you can't replace the batteries without sort of an external device of some kind to remove them. I suppose some people, if you wiggle around enough and you're desperate enough, I guess you could get the batteries out, but you know, I can't. The one nice feature about the battery carrier is that it has a lockout mode. So if you tighten up the light and turn it on, all you have to do is give the light just a little twist and it'll lock it out. So now you don't have to worry about accidental activation, which is, I like that feature. If you carry it in a knapsack or something like that, you can easily lock out the light like that. Now, it does have a special lockout where you press and hold both buttons, and now it is locked out. You can't use it. But, you know, to me, that's, you have to press both buttons now in order to unlock it. And it's unlocked and you can go ahead and use it. But I find the simple twist of the battery carrier is much nicer to be able to lock out the light. The only other thing I don't like about this flashlight is the two tiny mode buttons. It's not that they're not usable. They're relatively easy to press. But it's very difficult to find them in the middle of the night. They don't light up. And so if you suddenly need to use the light in an emergency, you tend to grab the flashlight and start pressing, and oh, I'm pressing the mode button, I'm hitting the wrong button, oh, now I pressed the on button, and it's there. So to me, I'd rather have a single button that you can easily find in the dark. You press it, the light comes on. With this one, it's too easy to hit the mode button instead of the on-off button, and then the light doesn't come on. And by that point, you know, whatever you're trying to look at may be either gone or right on top of you. Either way, it's probably not good. So in summary, it's a nice light. It's a quality light. It does have a couple of features that may or may not be important to people, but there's a couple of the minor things I don't like about the interface. But you know, it's not like those are deal breakers. It's a good light. It's expensive, but you know, if you don't mind paying the $80 or $90 US, you'll get a good light for it. It has a very nice tint as well with the neutral white. So it's nice that it comes in either cool white or neutral white. I would again suggest the neutral white, but that's just personal preference. All right, thank you.